Hi everyone, Daisy here again with another layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict. Today I am using the poinsettia garland cut file, and I cut it out of some thick white cardstock, and then I placed the kind of off-cut part over my prepared paper. I just used some gesso and prepared another piece of cardstock, and then I am adding some mixed media. Now, this is something that I just did recently, and it worked out so well that I wanted to do it again. Using that kind of the offcut of the cut file protects the rest of your paper. It, obviously it's just a piece of paper, so it doesn't work to keep everything from leaking underneath it. But I mean, you can see there that very little of it kind of spread underneath that other piece of paper, so it's worth trying out. So I just used some red and green paints from Shimmers to kind of color the background there. I think the greens are Green Goddess and Celery, and the reds are Scarlet's Fever and Buddy's favorite color. Now I know that the cut file, it has like a poinsettia in the middle, so that's where I wanted my red to be concentrated, and then more leaves and like holly berries on the outside. And while some of those items would also be red, I was more focusing on like doing the green in that area. And I love how this turned out. Like, it's so pretty. And so I have that photo there, and there is a piece of sticky note on it just because it's my daughter with her friends. They went ice skating for one of her friends' birthday parties, and they were wearing masks. They just took them off for this one photo, and they were socially distanced, other than from each other, but from everybody else. So, but yeah, so I picked a paper from the November Hip Kit Club kit and cut out the middle of it, and then I am cutting my um, painted piece of paper down here so that there's an inch on each side, and then I'm going to tape it down. And I always put 2 layers of adhesive down, and I'm going to stick this down and it's going to be crooked, so I'm going to pull it back up and fix it. But I always do 2 layers of adhesive, one around the kind of gutted part of my paper and then one around the outside. And I find that that kind of helps keep it from buckling. Because especially when you use mixed media or gesso, your paper does want to curl up a little bit. And then there's the gorgeous cut file, and I love, love, love how that looks. So I was trying to figure out, do I want to glue this down? And I was thinking, no, I'm going to sew it down. So I'm going to pull my sewing machine up here, and I'm going to go find my gold thread, and then I'm going to do some straight and then some zigzag stitches down the middle of the cut file. The edges are going to curl up, and that's exactly what I wanted. But I thought that this would be a great way to adhere it down. And then I was thinking, darn, I really wish I hadn't put all that adhesive around the edge, because I could have stitched around the edge of the paper as well. But unfortunately I had already glued it down, so I wasn't going to mess with that, because that really can mess up your sewing machine. Do not stitch through glue or any adhesive. It doesn't just have to be glue. So instead, what I'm going to do to bring in some more of the gold thread and stitching is I'm going to stitch directly at my photo, and I'm going to create kind of 2 photo corners at the top and bottom. And again, just straight stitches, and I just went over it twice, so there's 2 lines of stitching, and I'm going to again do that in the bottom. And I just love how that kind of incorporates the photos. I don't know if anybody else like feels sometimes that their photo is just kind of sitting on top and isn't part of their layout. And when I'm feeling like that, that's when I like to do something like this. Either I'll put some stitching on it, or I'll make sure that some of like if I do splatters with mist, I'll mist over it or make sure something's layering over my photo. And then I wanted to tuck it in so that it was kind of nice and nestled in here. And then here I make a mistake. I really wish I don't do this next thing that I do, but I'm just going to rip a big chunk out of my paper, and it didn't rip the way I wanted it to, so then I ended up with a bigger chunk than I meant. So then I'm just like, oh goodness, I really just screwed that up. How am I going to fix this? So instead I decided to work on my little tag title area, because yes, I'm going to layer the tags again. I know. I'm sorry if you're getting sick of seeing that, but I love the way it looks, so I can't help myself. So I just have these pretty little studio tags. They are probably my favorite tags. They're cut apart, they're super saturated in color, and they're just gorgeous and on thick paper. I love them so much. Then I'm going to put this photo on this paper here, which is another Hip Kit paper, and nope, don't like it. I'm going to end up taking it off. For some reason I was thinking that paper was a little bit redder than it is, but it's just too pink for me, so I'm going to use this Bella Boulevard paper, and I was thinking about using the candy canes, but I felt like that was too bold, so I'm going to end up using this, what is that pattern? Like Nordic or Fair Isle or something. It looks like a sweater, kind of like knit print. So I'm going to back my photo with that. I think that's what I end up with. Yeah. And I don't know why, but I had like this red really stuck in my head that I wanted to use that. So that's why I ended up pulling it out. And I'm really sorry if you hear my sniffing. I'm starting to get a cold. It's been so cold here lately, like in the 20s Fahrenheit. So it's just been kind of miserable, and yeah, it's just miserable. So of course I'm probably getting a cold. And then, so I felt like that was too much red over there, and I didn't like all that background paper showing, so I pull out a little red and white polka dot there and layer that under that torn edge, trying again to make it less obvious that I tore that giant piece off. Just going to stick my photo down. And then embellishing. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Just these tags, I know that I'm going to use them, and then I screw it up sticking them down. Like, it was a struggle. I have had a migraine now for 4 days, so I did this layout. It's just been like really stressful this week, and so I did this layout and probably rushed it a little bit. I should have taken a little bit more time. It did take me over or about an hour, which is a long time for me, but yeah, I was just working on getting it done and just struggled a bit. So I screwed up putting my tags down, and I adhered them down right away. And then I was thinking about using these wood veneer from the Hip Kit, and I don't know. There wasn't like 3 that were the same, so I'm like, no. So then I pull out the chipboard. I was thinking these little holly berry things would be really cute because that's part of the cut file. But I didn't like the way those little ones looked, just kind of off on their own, so I'm going to use one of these wreaths and cut it in half, and then that helps with that little torn edge a lot. It doesn't make me love it, but it helps a lot. So, and then just trying to figure out what else to put on here. So that's all I go for the chipboard, and then I'm going to add my title, which is going to be Titletown Skating, because Titletown is where they were, and they were ice skating. So, you know, super, I thought really hard about this title. Like I said, brain was not functioning, so I'm just gonna, you know, call it what it is. And so I'm using these thickers from the Hip Kit Club. I didn't have any little O's. I only had the uppercase O's. Ugh, which irritated me to no end. But I'm going to cut apart a G and use that. Hi, Hermione. Come on. My pup just came by to check on me here. And so I'm going to finish getting that kind of put on there. And I actually like how the little O looks. Even, nobody else knows it's not an O, just me. But I think it's super cute there. And then I'm going to pull out some black thickers for the skating. And I really hope I spelled this right. I really don't know. Not only was I like trying to get this done fast, but everybody was like hovering over me while I was doing it because they came in and yeah, it was just, it's like, come on, people, I need some air, like back up. But anyway, so I love my title, and then I'm going to add a few things that just were sitting on my desk. So I have these little pom-poms. These I think came from like a dollar spot. And I'm just going to stick them down because I liked the little red puffball effect it had. And then I'm going to add some Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins. So if you haven't already, head on over to the Facebook group and join. It's the Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group. I'll have a link down below. And then don't forget also, go check out the Etsy shop and pick up the cut files that tickle your fancy. They're all absolutely gorgeous, so you can't go wrong with any of them. But definitely join the Facebook group because you'll find out when the new releases are coming out, and also when sales are happening and when there's freebies. So that's pretty much going to be my layout. I'm going to add some gold splatters here, and then that's going to be the end of this. So like I said, I'll have everything linked up down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.